What up, faithful? Happy Friday. You're watching the 49ers Report live here on Chat Sports. Hope everybody out there is gearing up to have a fantastic weekend. And I'll tell you this, we have a loaded show coming your way on a Friday edition of the Niners Report. I'm Chase Senior. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, I appreciate all of you for making today's show a part of your day. On the docket for this afternoon, we have a new Nick Bosa update from Adam Schefter. We're going to pass along training camp observations as the Niners just got off the SAP Performance Center field and some training camp stars. But first, we're emanating live from the Chat Sports studios. Where are you going to be spending the weekend, a.k.a. where are you watching from? Let us know down in the comments section. We'll start to give you some shout-outs here. This is all part of our audience build-up segment. People get that notification. They pile in. We chop it up with everybody. Then we'll start the official show here in about 10 minutes. Mr. Block Ice is hanging out. Elvin Santiago, Dave D, Rudy is here. Matt Sullivan, Joe Shano, Ernesto. We have Elvin Santiago, Joe Caterly, Jacob Miller, Ernesto. As for where people are representing from, I'm seeing Akron, Ohio, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Arizona, a couple of Arizonas, in fact. Mac is in Houston. Faithful Friday, baby, from Henry. I like that. That could be a movement moving forward. Oakland, California from Michael Keller. Niners for life from Aaron Magana. Jordan Martin just said, just beat the Philadelphia Eagles. That's all that Jordan cares about this upcoming season. Illinois, Virginia Beach, and West Palm Beach all in the house. And also, I'm seeing Oregon. I told you, we have people watching the Niners Report from all across the globe. Every pocket of America, but across the World Wide Web as well. We're going to talk about this Nick Bosa update in further detail here in just a few moments, as that's going to kick off our official show. ESPN's Adam Schefter providing an update on Nick Bosa. As for the latest on him, he is not reported to Niners training camp just yet. He is entering the final year of his contract after San Francisco exercised that fifth-year option. This year, he is going to be making $17.8 million. As I noted, hasn't reported to training camp yet. And when he does get this contract, because I do believe it's going to happen any day now, maybe any week now, you can expect Nick Bosa to most likely become the highest paid defensive player in the history of the league. Now, I know a lot of people out there are a little bit concerned about Bosa because he hasn't reported to camp. I wouldn't be that concerned. His agent represents him and Joe Burrow, two young players who are looking to get lofty contract extensions. There's a lot of money at play here. So there's a lot of fine details to kind of iron out, and Nick Bosa is always in great shape. Now, the delay in him reporting to training camp could cause some concerns with a soft tissue injury, not being in football shape. As long as he gets some practices underneath his belt, I expect Bosa to be Nick Bosa. Here's one of the updates from Adam Schefter among the several that we're going to pass along here on the show. He said the 49ers, they love Nick Bosa. They're going to sign Nick Bosa. My guess is Nick Bosa is going to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. So if that happens, Bosa would overtake Aaron Donald as the highest paid player on the defensive side of the football. So who do you think will have the bigger bag by the time the season starts? Will Aaron Donald still reign superior and be the highest paid defensive player ever, or will Nick Bosa overtake him? Let us know down in the chat. Type their initials. I'm going Nick Bosa because he's younger, better. Aaron Donald, older now, especially when he got that bag. I'm going Bosa here. Buddy Bear says it says Aaron Donald, excuse me. Ernesto Bosa, Brian Bosa, Niner 63 Bosa. Aaron, number 97. Black Mask is back in the house. Our Super Chat MVP from the show on Wednesday. Michael B. Bosa. David Wiley Bosa. Also, our live poll question right now. Will Nick Bosa get a bigger contract than Aaron Donald? 91% yes, 9% no. We have 154 people watching live, only 26 likes. If you're a real one, you're going to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video right now. Also on the slate for the live show today, Training Camp Stars. I'll look at 5 players who have been starring so far for San Francisco in training camp. And one of them is a player who we've talked about over the last couple of days. That is Javon Kinlaw, who continues to put together a really good training camp. If he's able to play well for this Niners team, he's able to fortify some of the depth concerns that you have at defensive tackle. And if he can be that player that the Niners envisioned him being when they took him 14th overall in 2020, that's a great thing and a great development for San Francisco this year. So evaluating him in training camp so far, healthiest that he's been dominating in one-on-one and team drills, just throwing offensive linemen to the side, getting after the quarterback. He's always looked the part. When you look at Javon Kinlaw, you're like, that's a man right there. That's a football player. He's a physical specimen. Unfortunately for him, he's missed 26 games in 3 years because of a bunch of knee issues, and there's a lot of pressure on him because he's entering the final year of his deal after San Francisco did not exercise that fifth-year option. We're up to 60 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? Continue to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. It's a Freaky Friday with the faithful. Let's go. If you want to join the show today, use the hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to ask us anything. We will be doing a mailbag on the program today, so you can start to get those questions in right now using hashtag 49ers. If you want to send us a Super Chat, we appreciate your tips as always because all of our content is free, and if you send us in a Super Chat, we're going to have a lot of fun here on the show. So $5, Niner mug cheers. $10, your initials go on the lunch pail. Look, the Niners are grinding on the practice field in the lead up to the regular season. We're grinding here on the show. All of you are grinding out there. We're the blue-collar, bring your lunch pail to work type of crew, and a lunch pail certainly exemplifies that. So $10, your initials on the lunch pail. Once we get it filled up, we're going to send it away to one of our Super Chat MVPs either at the end of the preseason or at the start of the regular season. You send us in a 20, we'll do 20 push-ups. I had to do 80 of them on Wednesday. I was gassed, but we're down to do it again. $50, going to do a beer bat. Throw a whole beer in this bat right here, and if we get a $100 Super Chat, we have a brand new producer on the show today. Jake Chipper is in the building. He's never done a live show before, and I'm hitting him with this message early on Friday morning. I'm like, yo, Chip, expect us to go live today because I got to chop it up with the faithful. He said, yeah, no problem. Cool, calm, and collected. So let's show him some love. We get a $100 Super Chat. He will do a beer boot. That is 3 beers in this boot right here, and he's going to take it down like a goddamn champ. So we'll do that. That is our Super Chat menu for the show today. Hey, I like that. He's so cool, they call him Ice Chip. Also, we have a Friday Super Chat battle right now with the Las Vegas Raiders report. Why, Chase? Well, first of all, the Raiders and Niners have one of the best rivalries in all of sports, not just football. Also, though, next weekend, preseason opener for San Francisco against the Raiders, and we're going to be doing a watch party for it. Now, the Raiders report has been live already for a couple of hours. Can we compete with the Raiders report? Can we make this somewhat respectable? They have more than $1,000 in Super Chats right now. We're at 0, but we just started the show. Who wants to change that? Let's get it. Are you going to be tuned in for our Niners-Raiders watch party? It's Sunday, August 13th. You know the deal. We'll probably be doing an hour pregame show with the whole preview of that game, players to watch going into that Raiders matchup, and then during the game, live play-by-play, audience interaction, Super Chat giveaways will be here. San Francisco, F Las Vegas, Sunday, August 13th. Hope you all join us. Who's going to be here? If you're going to watch the watch party, type me, Waveware, Lawrence, Bobby Thunder, Joshua Updake. I see all of you in the comment section right now. Who's going to be there for our watch party? Type me in the chat right now. Hope to see everybody there. Ernesto, Terrence, Billy, Tryon Ryan, Joe Caterly, Mr. Black Ice, Adrian, Words of Wisdom, Dante, Dave, Terrence, Ed G, Edgar, Phillip, Trying Ryan, Matt Sullivan. He's a big Raiders fan, but he's hanging out with us on the show, and he's not on the Raiders report. He's kind of a closet Niners fan. Lawrence Miera, me, Black Mask, you know it, our Super Chat MVP from Wednesday. Appreciate you, Black Mask. As for some training camp updates, we'll get to this really quickly, then we'll start talking about Nick Bosa. Brock Purdy, pretty solid today during a full scrimmage. Led a quick touchdown drive, 5 of 6, with the only incompletion being on a Brandon Ayuk drop. These numbers per David Lombardi of The Athletic. I don't like how he treats fans sometimes, but he did tweet out these numbers. Purdy was 12 of 18, touchdown to Debo. He threw a pick 6, though, in that practice to Deshaun Gibson. Sam Darnold, very good, 12 of 14. Trey Lance, 8 of 11. Brandon Allen, no snaps yesterday. Did get snaps today. He was 6 of 7. And the 49ers at training camp today, first 3 practices, they completed 47.5% of their throws. The next 5 practices, including today when they were humming, 72.4%. So these quarterbacks for the Niners doing pretty well over the last few practices against what was the best defense in football. Are you ready to start the show? We're 25 likes away from 100. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. We're still looking for our first Super Chat. Can we compete with the Las Vegas Raiders report? New producer Chipper is here. First ever live show. Oh! Sergio! Bang! Bang! Niner gang! A $50 Super Chat. Sergio. Whoa! Sergio. Whoa! Appreciate that, Sergio. You are the man. We'll get that $50 Super Chat popped up here in just a little while. As I said, new producer Chipper. He's been killing it since we hired him a couple of weeks ago. I want him to see how the faithful gets down on this Faithful Friday on the San Francisco 49ers report. Elvin says, how can I donate? You see the rectangular box with the $sign through it? You hit that, you send in a Super Chat, and I guarantee you're gonna get featured here on the show. Words of wisdom, still holding out hope for that Las Vegas get-together this year. Words of wisdom, if the Niners make it to the Super Bowl, then that Las Vegas get-together is going to happen. So we got our first Super Chat in, $50 from our boy, Sergio Rosales, I believe is how you pronounce it. We'll get that featured here on the screen. Sergio and Chipper, how about it, man?
Sergio,
this is how the faithful gets down. Let's go.
I love to see it. Great way to get my first show started. I'm waiting for that 100. It's a Friday, almost 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm ready to drink. So
you heard it from the man, Chipper. $100 Super Chat. He's doing this beer boot as we welcome him to the faithful. That's 3 beers in 1 boot. He'll do that for a $100 Super Chat. So if you could go back and pop up the Super Chat menu there, Chip, we'll see what Sergio's paying for here, because we always like to show love to the faithful, and we always live up to our Super Chat menu. As Sergio sends in a 50, that is going to be a beer bat here on the program. So we'll do that first. And then we're going to hop into the latest on Nick Bosa. New update from Adam Schefter, because that's what a lot of you are here for. But it's also Friday. As Chip said, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And we're going to get down here on this Faithful Friday. Got to have a meticulous pour here to limit the foam.
it's a beautiful pour.
It's a beautiful pour.
Beautiful pour.
We had some clowns in the office saying it gets really foamy. Yeah, you don't know how to pour a beer.
Look at that.
Come on now. This is a
Perfect
great
head.
pour right here. Sergio, you're the man. Thank you for that 50, my guy. Let the foam die down here a little bit. I can't even go nose grease in there because it's so deep down. Pause. So, Sergio, appreciate you, my brother. It's a Friday. It's a party on the San Francisco 49ers report. We're about to get to this Nick Bosa update, but first, for Sergio!
Chug, 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 chug. Woo! Killed
Easy
it,
money.
man. Killed it.
Easy money. Ed G with the $10 super chat. His initials are going on the lunch pail here. So I ordered the lunch pail because I think it exemplifies toughness. It exemplifies hard work. And it's a metal lunch pail that we're going to get roughed up a little bit throughout the preseason. And Ed G, he's the next name on our lunch pail. So anybody who sends in a $10 super chat, you get a golden sticker to go on the lunch pail. Who wants to have lunch with myself, Chip, and Trace here? If you want a seat at the lunch table, that's what it is.
What up, Niner gang?
Ed G,
how you doing?
Let's go! Bang, bang, Niner gang! Can't wait for the season to start. Hurry up and pay the man, Nick Bosa. Speaking of Nick Bosa, Ed G has us queued up. We're up to $60, by the way. The Raiders Report at more than 1,000. We're trying to compete with the Raiders Report, my boy Mitchell Renz, on this Freaky Friday. We have 3 segments to get to. Our first segment going to be about Nick Bosa. Segment number 2, training camp stars. Segment number 3, very interesting insight from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN about how San Francisco could trade Sam Darnold or Trey Lance at some point in the preseason. Elvin Santiago, a first-time Super Chatter. Elvin. That's 20 push-ups that I will do after this Nick Bosa segment. 20 push-ups for Elvin is going to come up. And as you can see with the fancy graphic here, a first-time Super Chatter. What happened? What happened? I didn't see it. I'll react in a second. My computer went blank. Oh! Boat! Swain! Boogie! Bang! Bang! Niner gang! $100 super chat. So that means that new producer Chip, after we talk about Bosa, will do a beer boot. That's 3 beers in 1 boot, and I'll do my 20 push-ups. That's coming up after our Nick Bosa segment. Trace, hang out with him first to make sure this gets off to a good start, and then Trace will fill up the boot. And then after this upcoming segment, it'll take about 10 to 15 minutes. Then we'll continue to get the party started here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Boat Swain Boogie, $100 donation. Thank you so much. We're not worthy, but we appreciate you so much. We're 1 like away from 100. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon. Like the video. We have a beer bat down, a beer boot coming up, push-ups, and some great content coming your way on this fateful Friday. The official show starts right now. All right, we have a new Nick Bosa update from ESPN's Adam Schefter. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, we appreciate the faithful for making today's show a part of your day. So many content options out there, but thanks for being here with us. So ESPN's Adam Schefter with the report on Nick Bosa. He also did an interview on the Pat McAfee show sharing some insight on why this Bosa deal hasn't been signed yet. But first, when Nick Bosa signs his contract extension, I don't care where I am, we're going to be going live for it right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report because this is the standard for the best Niners talk on YouTube. That's why you have to subscribe to the show. Year-round, daily coverage of the Niners, and when a Nick Bosa contract extension happens, we're going to bring you the best coverage right here on the 49ers Report. As for the latest on Bosa, entering the final year of his contract, 5th-year option that pays him $17.8 million in 2023. That's already set in stone. That's on the books. He has not reported to training camp just yet, as we're about a week and a half into Niners training camp in Santa Clara. And upon signing that deal, Nick Bosa could become the highest-paid defensive player in the history of the National Football League. So you can expect a historic deal for Bosa. Maybe the richest in the history of the Niners, and maybe the richest for a defensive player ever. Now, a lot of you are probably asking yourselves this question. Bosa hasn't reported to training camp. Is he getting fined? Here's one update among several from Schefter that we have to pass along on the show today. Nick Bosa's $50,000 per day fines for missing training camp are rescindable by the Niners because he is still on his rookie contract, whereas Zach Martin of the Dallas Cowboys and Chris Jones of the Chiefs are not on rookie contracts and are incurring non-rescindable $50,000 per day fines for missing training camp. So the translation here, Nick Bosa is not getting fined by the Niners for being away from the team because he's on that rookie contract. That's not the only update from Schefter on Bosa. We're only getting started on today's show. If you want to be informed on this situation, this is the show to watch. But first, today's poll question is this. Aaron Donald is currently the richest defensive player in the history of the NFL as he landed the biggest contract ever for a defender. So who gets the bigger bag? Is Bosa going to overtake Aaron Donald, type NB, or is it going to still be Donald of the Los Angeles Rams, type AD? Let us know in the comment section right now. More from Schefty on Bosa here. This is from an interview on the Pat McAfee show. I remember talking to the Niners during the 2018 season, and they're like, this season's not going the way that we want. We stink. It's not working out. I just wish we sucked more so that we could get Nick Bosa at number 1 overall. Some revisionist history here. Lo and behold, Kyler Murray goes number 1 to the dogshit Arizona Cardinals, not Shefty's words, mine, and they get the player that they would have taken number 1 100 times out of 100 at number 2. And what do the Niners do? They take Nick Bosa. They love Nick Bosa. They're going to sign Nick Bosa. My guess is Nick Bosa is going to be the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. Now, let's segue to this. What could the biggest deal in NFL history look like for a defensive player? Of course, there are a lot of quarterbacks who are getting paid big-time dollars. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. Those latter 3 players, the younger ones, all happening this offseason. Here's the current construct of that Aaron Donald deal that Bosa is trying to overtake. 3-year deal that he signed with the Rams. It was worth $95 million in total money, average annual salary of $31.6 million with the guaranteed money at $95 million. So that's Aaron Donald's contract that Nick Bosa is looking to unseat as the highest paid deal ever. As for the highest paid edge rushers per year in the NFL, you have Aaron Donald, he's a defensive tackle at 31.6, but this is the going rate for edge rushers out there. TJ Watt, currently the highest average annual value at $28 million. Nick Bosa at 27 even. Myles Garrett at 25. Khalil Mack, 23.5. Max Crosby, 23.5. Bradley Chubb, 22. Trey Hendrickson, $21 million. Von Miller at 20 mil. Cam Jordan at 17.5. Harold Landry at 17.5. Now, there are some good players on that list as well as this list as we take a look at the top 16. Alex Highsmith, $17 million. Shaq Barrett, 17. Chandler Jones, 17. Emmanuel Agba, Uchenna Nwosu, and Hassan Reddick, all ranging between 15 and 16 plus million dollars. So what's the holdup here, and how much could Bosa get? Because I'll say it right here live on the 49ers Report, Nick Bosa is better than all of those 16 players who we just talked about, and you saw that the money of what they're making. Here's the holdup, though, for why Bosa has not landed the deal yet. And this is interesting, and I didn't know this prior to Schefty saying it. Nick Bosa's agent is representing Bosa, but he's also representing Joe Burrow. It's the same guy. And Schefty said, my guess is that Bosa gets his contract first. Why this is significant is because Burrow is looking to become arguably the highest paid player at quarterback in the history of the NFL, and Bosa is looking to become the highest paid defender in the NFL. So right now, could you imagine being the agent of Burrow and Bosa, both players looking to get lofty contract extensions that are historic? You can see why this is a situation that is playing itself out. More to come here around the corner, details, stats, and all that. But first, this NFL Jam shirt is awesome. Now, a lot of you know NBA Jam from back in the day. This is a mock-up of that, but with Steve Young and Jerry Rice. And the shirt is on sale right now. If you use our link down below, chatsports.com/49ersjam, you use that link, it'll take you to Fanatics for that deal to apply. We'll put that link in the comments section and in the description of this video. As for my thoughts on this Bosa deal, I would not panic about a deal not getting done. I think it's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen very soon. The holdup, all the money at play, there's not really a rush to get it done. The Niners do have a history of when they've extended some of their homegrown talents, and it's happened each of the last 3 off seasons. George Kittle in 2020, Fred Warner in 2021, Deebo Samuel last year. George Kittle didn't sign until the middle of August. So there's still some wiggle room to get Bosa back with the team. Some people worry about a soft tissue injury. I worry about that too, but I know that Nick Bosa is going to report to Santa Clara in great shape because this dude is an extraordinary athlete. Adam Schefter on the deal. I think the Niners want to get it done. I think Nick Bosa wants to get it done, but I think both sides are practical and logical enough to know it's going to get done. He's going to be with the Niners. If Nick Bosa misses a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of camp, do you think that that's going to slow him down in the regular season opener? I do not. He's going to be just fine. The two sides will be connected here for a long time, and it won't be an issue. So Schefter has no qualms, no concerns about a contract getting done. Again, though, there's not really a rush to get this deal done. Bosa over the last 2 years, this is why he has an argument to become the highest paid defender in the history of the NFL. He comes off the torn ACL in 2020, where he only played a couple of games, and in 2021, he was tremendous. 15.5 sacks, 32 quarterback hits, 21 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, and 52 tackles. It's hard to duplicate that success, right? Bosa was able to do that. He becomes Defensive Player of the Year last year with 18.5 sacks and 48 quarterback hits. But some of the analytical Pro Football Focus numbers, even more impressive than the numbers that we just showed you. Because Bosa earned a 90.9 overall PFF grade. He was good against the run, obviously better against the pass because that's his forte. Run defense grade of 81.1, pass rush grade of 90.9, 508 pass rush snaps for Nick Bosa last year. He's able to tally 41 hurries according to PFF. Sometimes the databases have different numbers. 30 quarterback hits, 90 total pressures for Bosa to go along with 39 stops. And why I think he's going to get more money than Aaron Donald, better player currently, younger player. And can you make the argument that Bosa could be even better as we move forward and progress? So we round out today's show with this. Your best guess as to when a Nick Bosa deal gets done. Give us a specific date down in the comments section, and if you get right, let it be known in a future 49ers Report video. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure you subscribe. It's the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Well over 200 people watching live. That's segment number 1. We have 2 more segments to get to. 49ers training camp stars, but also some 49ers quarterback trade rumors around Sam Darnold and Trey Lance from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. First, though, we have some Super Chats to catch up on. Here's our Super Chat menu. You sent us in a $5 Super Chat, Niner mug cheers. $10, sign the lunch pail. $20. I'll do 20 push-ups. I already owe 20 of them. $50 for a beer bet. I did one of those. And we got a $100 Super Chat from the legend, our Super Chat MVP today, Boatswain Boogie, and Chipper, who's producing his first ever live show here today on the 49ers Report. He will do a beer boot. $5 Super Chat came in from Words of Wisdom. Trace is going to go fill up this beer boot here for Chipper to take down. Words of Wisdom with the 5. Can I get a shout out to my bootylicious wife, Eva? Chicka chicka bow wow. Shout out to Eva for watching the show. Shout out to Words of Wisdom, a.k.a. Mark. and the entire Valencia family. We appreciate all of you for being consistent supporters of the 49ers Report. Thanks, my brother. You are the man. All right, so we're going to do an updated look at our Friday Super Chat battle, if you want to edit some of those numbers here, because we're up to $185 in donations live on the 49ers Report. We're competing, with the Las Vegas Raiders Report. Oh! Gump Wolf! Bang! Bang! Niner gang! Chase is awesome. LFG, best show ever. I can't thank all of you enough for supporting the show. It is a blessing to be able to do this every day. I do not take it lightly. And every day that I sip my coffee on my porch as I read, get ready for my workout and meditate, I honestly think about the faithful and trying to bring everybody the best content out there. This is a dream job for me. So to be able to do this, it is absolutely incredible. So thank you to everybody for all of your support here on the Niners Report. And the best thing is, we're one segment down. We have 2 segments left to get to, and we're going to continue to keep it humming here on the San Francisco 49ers Report on a faithful, freaky Friday. So our Super Chat battle here, we're up to $235 in Super Chats. By the way, my favorite beer out there, Yingling, so I just want to give a cheers to everybody for tuned in. And then Gump Wolf did send in a $50 Super Chat. So that is going to be another beer bet here on the show. And then Chipper doing his first live show in the history of his chat sports career. We hired him a couple of weeks ago. He's been doing a great job. We said if we got a $100 super chat, he would do a beer boot. So Chipper's about to do that beer boot here momentarily. And we're going to introduce you to Chip. He almost took the microphone with him. So everybody type Chip down in the chat. Trace is going to hop on the mic. Everybody type Chip. I don't think I hear you, Trace. Everybody type Chip. He's going to do this beer bat here, or I'm going to do the beer bat. He's going to do the beer boot. That's 3 beers in 1 boot. And if somebody sends in another $100 super chat, that's another beer boot for Chip. So cheers, brother. Yeah, exactly right. 10 more $100 super chats, and we're beating the Raiders Report. Freaky Faithful Friday here. We'll get to our second segment in a moment, but first, we party.
Jug, 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 jug.
Time to burn. 420. 420.
Blaze it.
It's time to burn.
Come on, Chip. Come on, Chip.
3 beers in 1. Chip's a champ. 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 He was smashing a couple of these last night. It's a little bit of a struggle after you do a few last night. But Chip is a champ. Hey, Chip. Hey, Chip. Hey, Chip. Clap it up for Chip. Clap it up for Chip. Clap it up for Chip. Trace, what are you doing for 50? Trace will do a beer bong for a $50 super chat. Trizzy Trace will come here on the show. And Coop will do a shotgun? Coop will do a shotgun for 50. So there you go. A beer bong shotgun for 50, but that's 2 of those for just 50. And they'll do that here on the show. So revised super chat menu. All right. We're going to get to our second segment here in a moment. I don't think so. He was a little bit earlier, but yeah. All good. Try to talk into it again. Yeah, I can't hear you. But put yourself in a program to see if the people can hear you. Because I can see if your audio wavelengths are going. Say, yo, what's up? I don't think so. No Chip? You can't hear Chip? That's mine. That's my headphone volume. Yeah. I'm good now. Turn it up a little bit. I can't hear myself. Now I can. Yeah. So all good. I heard him at first when we first started the show. So maybe if when he got up and yanked it out, try to unplug it and then there it is. We got Chip back.
My fault. My fault.
Just make sure you unmute yourself back for this upcoming segment here. So our Super Chat menu, you see the deal. Also, everybody who sent in a Super Chat of more than $10, you're going to go on the lunch pail as well. So I just have to take a quick look at the big Super Chats that have come in so that we can get you featured on the lunch pail as well. Sergio is going on there. So we're going to put Sergio on the lunch pail. We have Boatswain Boogie. I'll do a little BB on that piece. And then we also had Gump Wolf the Legend. Gump Wolf is going on the lunch pail. He loves tuning into the Niners Report sometimes when he's on the road. Brian Cope, how's the YouTube channel going, my brother? I'm sorry I wasn't able to join you a couple of months ago. I've been so incredibly busy, but I hope it's going well. Thank you so much for that compliment. K-Nuts saying drink, drink, drink. Another Super Chat. We're going to start the drink once again. Trace, you can close that door if you want. Coming up next here on the 49ers Report. And Chip, you can go to this here. We already talked about our Nick Bosa update. That was story number 1. We passed along some training camp observations. Now, training camp stars, but we also have another segment that we're going to get to. And that is some 49ers quarterback trade rumors from Jeremy Fowler on Sam Darnold as well as Trey Lance. So what we're doing next, training camp stars. Make sure you continue to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Bryant Colt, 151 subs. Congratulations, my bro. And let's get to our training camp stars segment here in just a moment. Oh! Black mask, black mask, black mask. What's good, brother? That'll be a Trace beer bong and a Coop shot fun. And once again, we're going to do that after this upcoming segment. Black Mask was our Super Chat MVP on Wednesday, and here he is again. Bruh, chilling in the hot tub, listening to the show, seeing if I can do this from my phone. Bang! Bang! Niner gang! Black Mask. Faithful Friday. Niners Report on a Friday in the hot tub. Black Mask is vibing. Black Mask is vibing. Oh, you doing it now? All right, so Coop will do his now, and then Trace will do his after this upcoming segment.
Oh, you're about to do a segment?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sure?
Yeah. Shot fun. Shot fun. Penetrate that piece. So you put a beer in the canister, it punctures it, takes it down. Coop, 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 Coop. Let's go. Piff Daddy is in the house. We just surpassed 420. Piff Daddy. It's 4:25 Central Time. So Piff Daddy,
I want to see some 420s
knowing the
comments.
name, I'm sure that you were enjoying the 420 there. BK from the Bay, definitely get rid of Darnold. Yeah, Nick Bosa, I think is going to overtake him. That's been my prediction all throughout this offseason, that Nick Bosa overtakes Aaron Donald as the highest paid defensive player in the history of the sport. All right, segment number 2, numero dos, training camp stars. Let's get to it right now live on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of you out there are having a fantastic weekend. We have a great show on tap for the faithful today. Training camp stars. I'll look at 5 players who have been starring for the Niners so far in training camp. And the player who's been impressing a lot of people and really turning some heads, it's a former first-round pick who in 3 years with San Francisco hasn't done much. But could that change in 2023? We're talking about Javon Kinlaw here, defensive tackle for the Niners, who San Francisco took at 14th overall back in 2020. And if he's able to pan out this year, that first-round haul of Kinlaw and Brandon Ayuk could elevate San Francisco this year. Ayuk's already become a really good player in this league. Kinlaw up to this point has been an absolute bust, but in training camp, he's been really, really good. Evaluating his performance so far in camp, it's the healthiest that he's been. He's in the best shape that he's been, dominating one-on-one drills as well as team drills. And when you look at Javon Kinlaw as an athlete, as a body, as a physical specimen, he's always looked the part. He looks like a freaky big athlete. Unfortunately for him, knee issues have caused him to be out of the production. He has missed 26 games in 3 years, and I believe he only has 1.5 sacks to his resume. There's pressure on him, though, to perform this year because San Francisco declined his 5th-year option. And that means that this year is the final year of his contract. Now, unfortunately, because of the injuries, he hasn't been able to participate in a lot of games, and he hasn't been able to be a part of the last 2 years when San Francisco has boosted one of the best defenses in the sport. They lose D'Amico Ryans. They bring in Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks is a really good defensive coordinator in this league. I go back to the conversation that I had right here on the show with Jay Glazer of Fox Sports during Super Bowl Radio Row when he told me, even including head coaching hirings, the buzz around the NFL was that the Niners' hiring of Steve Wilks could have been one of the best hires of the offseason. Great defensive coordinator, and he might get creative this year and more aggressive as compared to D'Amico Ryans. Shout out to John Chapman for taking a video of this. I took a screenshot of it. The 49ers yesterday at practice, or at least on Thursday, were experimenting with a 5-man front. Can you imagine the damage that they can cause with that 5-man front? And in this photo here, you see Cleveland Ferrell, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw, and then Drake Jackson. So this would probably be a 5-2 front in which Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are your 2 backers, and then you have 5 defensive linemen. You take out either Jackson or Ferrell. You put in Nick Bosa. That's a front that can get pressure on the quarterback. Javon Kinlaw, can he be a part of it? So far, so good. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I want to see what he's able to do. So with that, we tee up our first poll question. Chime in down in the comment section here. Who is your top breakout star in training camp? 1 down, 5 to go. Speaking of the rest of the list, here's number 2. Ty Davis-Price. 3rd-round pick out of LSU 2 years ago, and TDP was really good at LSU. Very powerful back, had some good speed, able to break tackles, pick up yards after contact, a tough back who could run in between the tackles, but at LSU did have some success running outside the tackles, but last year just wasn't the player that the Niners envisioned him being as a 3rd-round pick. Now, the Niners have done a great job of developing running backs. That's all thanks to Bobby Turner, the Niners running back coach, who's one of the best at his position in the NFL. They found UDFAs like Jordan Mason. They found draftees. Some of them have hit, some of them have busted. But either way, the Niners are always productive in Kyle Shanahan's offense in running the football. Can TDP be a part of that? When you evaluate him throughout training camp so far, most notably, he's in better shape. Slimmed down, just looks to be more in that running back NFL body. Also important, more decisive with his runs. He knows where to go with his runs in a complex scheme that sometimes is very difficult to get down. He understands the scheme better, which probably ties into point number 2, where he's decisive because he has a better grasp of what Kyle Shanahan is looking for. He's also added pass-catching ability to his arsenal, which only helps his chances of A, making the team, which it looks as though he's probably going to be able to do that because he's battling Jordan Mason for RB3. 2, though, actually getting playing time behind Christian McCaffrey and hopefully Elijah Mitchell if he's able to stay healthy. Now, John Lynch with a pretty telling quote on Ty Davis-Price. At times last year, it just didn't feel like it was the guy that we watched in college at LSU. Yikes. Now, this is good, though. But, man, it's been a complete turnaround. Now, from all accounts and from training camp takeaways, we've talked about this here on the show, that Ty Davis-Price is battling Jordan Mason for RB3 reps. Kalon Laybourne is a UDFA who's also impressing some people. You know that Christian McCaffrey is going to make this team. I would imagine Elijah Mitchell, even though he's out right now with that adductor strain, that's a groin injury. After that, though, Mason, Ty Davis Price, how many running backs will the Niners have on this 53-man roster? This training camp and preseason competition is going to be a good one for the Niners. Kyle Shanahan on Jordan Mason here. I thought Jordan had a great rookie year, helped us out a lot. I think he's just understanding the offense better as a whole, getting better in the pass game. I definitely think he's taking some strides. So I love Mason as a player. He could be a breakout guy this year. If Elijah Mitchell is injured, then I think that Mason can be an RB2. Can TDP be an RB2 as well? Again, great competition in camp. Frank Gore, by the way, he is a part of this Niners front office. He's been giddy, and the other day got very excited about a run that Ty Davis Price was able to pop off. So, predict this roster battle. Who will be RB3 between the former third-round pick and Tyron Davis Price and Jordan Mason, the UDFA, TDP, or JM? As you venture down to the comment section to get those votes in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please lock us in and join the movement. Join the greatest Niner community on YouTube for year-round coverage of San Francisco. We're talking news, rumors, breaking news, videos like this, audience interaction, live shows, watch parties. We do it all. Hit that sub button right now. Training camp star number 3. This shouldn't come as much of a surprise because Brandon Ayuk, we all know, or at least the real ones know, he was a star last year for the Niners. He has once again been a star for San Francisco going into a very, very critical year 4 for him as he tries to secure the bag. Ayuk has been the best player on the Niners throughout training camp. We're talking offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. He is cooking fools in one-on-one drills, team drills, red zone drills, 11-on-11s. There is nobody on the field that's been able to guard Brandon Ayuk. And a big reason for that, 1, he's a really good player. 2, footwork is great. 3, route running is awesome. Speed is good. He has that acceleration. It's really difficult for anybody to keep in front of a good wide receiver or tight end in one-on-one drills. But the point here being, no matter the setting, no matter the quarterback, word is, let's go, Brandon. Ayuk's been popping off. And my stat projections for Ayuk this upcoming season are this. I think that he truly breaks out. I said going into last year that he was better than CD Lamb, same members of that draft class in 2020. Then everybody started to hop on board that train. I was early on it. And I think that going into this year and this year in 2023, if he simply featured more in this Niners offense, which is run-centric at times, Ayuk can be absolutely elite. I'm talking top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. 120 targets is my stat projection. 90 catches, 1,345 yards with 10 touchdowns. Put this in your memory bank here because what Ayuk did last year, 78 catches, 1,015 yards, and 8 touchdowns. So I think the receptions go up by 12. The yards go up by about 300, and the touchdowns go up by 2. I think that's feasible because I believe in the player here. Training camp star number 4, Danny Gray. Now, I do have to eat crow here to a certain degree because back a few days ago when I was doing my training camp winners and losers, Danny Gray hadn't really done much up to that point in training camp, and I called him out. I said, Danny Gray, you ran a 4.3 40-yard dash in the pre-draft process 2 years ago. I had you mocked to the Niners in my mock draft because I thought that you were a good fit. The Niners needed a vertical threat alongside Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Where have you been? Last couple of practices, though, he's responded. Does he watch the 49ers report? People are talking. He's been routinely catching 20-plus yard passes over the last couple of days. And Kyle Shanahan, you think about the offensive design. He loves the high-low concepts where one receiver goes high, the other goes low. What does it do? Separates the defense vertically, separates the defense from sideline to sideline, opens up underneath routes, and then you can get coverage breakdowns on the back end where Gray can be open, going vertical to take the top off of the defense, or a Kittle, Deebo, Ayuk, they can be open underneath. And Danny Gray is that vertical threat who could really unlock a Debo, Ayuk, or George Kittle by getting upfield. Safeties have to account for him, and then you hit the opposing defense with that switch route, the versatile routes in which you could go out, you could go in. We're talking in between the numbers, we're talking hash, all that stuff. That's what Danny Gray could bring this offense if he's more consistent. Now, Kyle Shanahan, with this quote on Danny Gray, I think he's having a real good camp. He put the work in phase 1, 2, and 3. He was able to get through OTAs, working hard, not having an injury, and he's obviously spent the 40 days away well because he's catching the ball. That was a question going into this year. He's in really good shape, and he's been out there very consistently, and the ball came his way a little bit more today. And I talked earlier about the speed of Danny Gray. When he was at SMU, this guy clocked a 4.3 40-yard dash. And can you imagine the avenues and the opportunities he's able to open up with that speed, with the Kyle Shanahan play design in this offense for everything to be open underneath for most likely Brock Purdy, who might not have the strongest arm in the world, but if receivers are open free, all you have to do is be accurate with the football and get it to him in stride. That's an explosive play which can take down and attack that defense. Training camp star number 5 is Deebo Samuel. So we have 3 wide receivers here, 1 running back and 1 defensive lineman, specifically defensive tackle in Javon Kinlaw. I really just want to talk about Deebo Samuel because when I don't do my job here at Chat Sports, if I have a bad show, I am always accountable. If I don't bring my heat to the airways every single day, I go home, it eats at me, I can't sleep. The same happened for Deebo Samuel, and that's what it requires to be great. David Goggins, I appreciate the motivation, right? Conquer that inner bitch. For Deebo Samuel, he was not happy with the tape that he put on film last year. He was not happy the shape that he was in. He said admittedly in open air that he looked sluggish, and he was embarrassed by his performance last year. He vowed he wasn't going to put those types of plays on tape once again, and he let the contract dispute affect him. That's why he was out of shape, always injured with all those soft tissue injuries, and the explosiveness wasn't there. This is a look at Deebo Samuel in training camp. He looks slimmed down. People have said he looks to be in the best shape since he was drafted out of South Carolina in 2019 when he was a steady contributor for a Niners offense that made it to the Super Bowl. In 2021, he was an All-Pro, and he looks to be in that 2021 All-Pro form. Niners Nation, Kyle Posey. Check him out if you haven't already done so. He's been doing a great job with some unbiased reports and write-ups of Niners training camp practices so far. And this is pretty notable here for Deebo. Brandon Ayuk is the talk of the town. But Deebo Samuel looks like a different person through a few practices. To me, he looks more flexible. Samuel gets in and out of his breaks quicker and is separating at a higher frequency thanks to that. And I've said this a couple of times here on the show. I don't want to repeat myself, but a lot of people are new to the channel. We have a lot of people watch us, millions of people worldwide. So I just want to say this. If Deebo Samuel is in his 2021 form for this Niners offense here in 2023, given the weapons on that side of the ball, the play design, the scheme, and the play calling from Kyle Shanahan, I think that the Niners could put together one of the best, if not the best offensive seasons in the history of this franchise. If you're still rocking with us, Real One roll call. Give me your real one down below. We appreciate your support so greatly here on the Niners Report, and make sure you subscribe for daily content on San Francisco. All right, good stuff right there. Leroy Hopkins, Ernesto Ojeda, Laney Kidd, and Lore giving me a real one down in the chat. Laney Kidd saying big facts. Robert Cooksey saying real one as well. Edgar Orozco giving me a real one. Alicio is a real one. Ed G, thanks for the super chat earlier. Also a real one. Fuel Your Fire, real one. GM Evan Hendricks is here, also giving me a real one. We got a $20 super chat a little bit earlier. I did not forget that I have to drop down and do 20 push-ups. So I'm going to count them out right now, and I'm going to do those 20 push-ups. And then a Trace Beer Bong is also coming up. Chipper, if you want to give some shout-outs to some of the people in the chat, new producer Chipper, first ever live show today. He's killing it. Already did a beer boot. He's going to give you all shout-outs as I do these 20 push-ups. Turn that mic on, brother.
Big Hurt, Brian Culp, Boatswain Boogie, Jeremiah Grady, Elvin Santiago, Lore. Joe, you got a real one shirt. That's how you know you're a real one.
Oh,
right
Joe
there.
got a real one shirt.
That's how you know you're a real one.
That's how
right
you know
there.
you're a real one. Joe Cadela, you are an absolute real one, my guy.
Get Chipper more boots. You guys got to send in the money.
Yeah.
I'm not just doing boots to do a boot, as much as I would love to, you know.
So that's a good segue, Chip. Throw up the Super Chat menu. Because Chip is down to do another beer boot, but he's not going to do it for free. Because our bodies take a little bit of a toll here. So if you want to send in a tip, a donation, and you want to support the show, Chipper will do a beer boot for a $100 Super Chat. And speaking of Super Chats, live here on the San Francisco 49ers Report, Lyle with the $100 Super Chat. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Oh, 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 Lyle, 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 Lyle. What a legend right there. What a legend. Oh, how about this? Trace with the motorcycle helmet beer bong.
Killed it.
San Francisco! That gets us to $394 in Super Chats. You have another boot in you, Chip? Is that a lot of fluid for you?
No, let's get it going.
All right.
Let's get it going.
Chip can put down another beer boot. And,
Don't want to
shoot.
miss this one here either from Black Mask.
Black Mask with the $10 Super Chat. Imagine we were talking about Kinlaw and Lance's top draft picks and going nowhere. Damn. So, look, every team across the NFL does have draft misses. And a lot of people lose sight of the fact that in the first round, sometimes it's about taking a chance. You see these freaky athletes, and you get really enticed by these great athletes to see what they can do, to see what you can mold them into. And so you see Lance, 6'4", 225. The dude was a great runner at North Dakota State. He barely threw any interceptions while with the Bison. And he's athletic, mobile, strong arm. And then you look at Kinlaw, a physical menace, a physical beast. So you're looking at trying to take a chance on a player like that. I can see where teams come from, where sometimes they just simply can't help themselves. But with San Francisco, yeah, it's not a great look when you move up 9 spots to take Lance and you trade away 3 picks and barely he's played so far. Now, part of that is because Brock Purdy played so well last year. So he's got in the way of Trey Lance trying to see the field. And for Javon Kinlaw, one thing you can't predict is injuries. And he's been hit with a lot of injuries. Now, we get an updated look at our Friday Super Chat battle. We're doing this with the Raiders Report because the Raiders Report is going to be going live for a watch party next weekend for preseason game number 1. So are we on the 49ers Report. And you know that this is going to be a matchup, Raiders-Niners, that everybody is anticipating and looking forward to. So we're doing a Friday Super Chat battle. We're almost halfway there, ladies and gentlemen, of catching up to the Las Vegas Raiders Report, Chip. We're doing a damn good job right here.
We're on what? Was that 2? That was 2 segments in, right?
Yeah, we have one more segment left to get to, and we could still do a Faithful Friday Freaky Happy Hour if we really want to. So, Lyle, you're also going to go on the lunch pail, and then Chip will do another boot after this show. Lyle Boyard, we're going to put an LB on the lunch pail. Anybody who sends in a super chat, $10 or more, goes on the lunch pail. We added 10 people on Wednesday's show, and today, 2, 4, 5 more people who are also getting on the show. And I don't think I missed anybody. Yeah, I didn't miss anybody. So you send in 10 or more, you get on the lunch pail as well. So what I want to do right now, and throw up that weigh-in, hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to get on the show. I am down to answer some questions from the faithful. And if you have a question about training camp, you have a question about the regular season, get those questions in right now by using hashtag 49ers or sending in a super chat. Whoever sends in a super chat, guaranteed that you will be featured on our mailbag. But if you use the hashtag 49ers and you have a good question, first-time producer Chip, he will pop those questions up and we'll get you featured on the show as well. Stay tuned because Chip is going to do a beer boot. We're at $394. If we get to $400 in super chats, we're only 6 away by the end of this segment. I will chug another beer, and Chip will do the beer boot after this upcoming segment. We'll take your questions. We'll talk about these trade rumors from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. He said, you can't count out a Sam Darnold or Trey Lance trade. That's still to come, and then we'll hang out here for a little while. Elvin Santiago said, I missed you. Let me take a look here, Elvin. Elvin, yes, good call. There we go. Pop up Elvin's super chat if you could there. If you could there, Chip, if it's still available. So ES is also going on the lunch pail. There you go, Elvin. ES is getting added as well. And we'll pop up your super chat here in just a moment. Elvin Santiago, we showed it earlier. He's a first-time super chatter. So if it already went away, that's fine. But Elvin, we got you on the lunch pail as well, my brother. All good. Thanks for the reminder, bro. We appreciate that. It was amidst a lot of craziness earlier. Yeah. We definitely showed it, but we'll show some love to Elvin after this upcoming segment as well, Trace, if you want to do that too. So, coming up next here on the show, Jeremy Fowler dropped this article right before we went live, and I read through it. It was an article about the Niners being Super Bowl contenders but having question marks at the quarterback position. And he talked about, with some really good reporting, the future of Lance, the future of Purdy, the future of Darnold, and said you can't rule out the possibility of Lance or Darnold getting traded prior to the start of the regular season. So that will be our third and final segment, and we're going to start that right now. Chip, you ready to rock? Cool. Let's do it right now, live on the 49ers Report. Coming your way on today's San Francisco 49ers Report, ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler dropped a really fascinating article on Friday. And within that article, and looking at the Niners quarterback situation going into 2023 and all of the questions around it, combined with the fact that the Niners have one of the most loaded rosters in the NFL, they're Super Bowl contenders with a really good coach, there are still relative unknowns at the most important position at quarterback. And in that article, he said, a Trey Lance or Sam Darnold trade prior to the regular season, quote, can't be ruled out. Now, if a trade does happen of any player, if the Niners sign somebody to that roster, anytime a big story comes out, we cover it here on the 49ers Report because we do it for the faithful. That's why you got to subscribe to the show. As we just surpassed 82,000 subscribers, lock us in for daily content on San Francisco. So really, let's take a look at this article from a bird's eye view. A Lance or Darnold trade. Could it happen? ESPN's Jeremy Fowler wrote that article about the Niners quarterback situation. He detailed why the Niners liked Lance in the pre-draft process. They thought that he had this special blend of athleticism, mobility, running it, throwing it. They raved about his character. And a lot of those same things still ring true. Unfortunately for Lance, he's been injured with the finger and knee issue. He had the ankle injury last year, which Jeremy Fowler also talked about. And they went into last year fully anticipating Lance being their the team's starting quarterback. He gets hurt. Jimmy Garoppolo comes in, who Jeremy Fowler talked about Garoppolo and saying that the Niners expected to trade him until there wasn't a market out there. And then Brock Purdy takes over, and he ends up exceeding all expectations. And originally, the Niners took Purdy to be an affordable backup. But the big nugget in that article is the one that we alluded to earlier. Jeremy Fowler, well-respected and well-trusted NFL insider said that the 49ers could trade Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. Here's a direct snippet from that piece. If Purdy has no issues, trade rumors surrounding Lance and perhaps Darnold could bubble to the surface. The Niners took calls on Lance in the spring, but John Lynch maintained it would take something substantial for the Niners to deal him. Next up from Fowler. The parallels between this preseason and last are easy to see, only with Lance in Garoppolo's role now. Like Garoppolo then, Lance holds more value for the Niners than any other team because San Francisco has needed multiple capable quarterbacks in each of the past 3 years. And with the NFL rule change allowing teams to carry 3 quarterbacks on the game day roster, the Niners will be more inclined to keep their trio around still. A training camp trade can't be ruled out, especially if another team has an injury that creates quarterback desperation. We've talked about this all offseason, that if San Francisco is blown away by an offer for Lance, they shopped him in the spring, they weren't blown away by an offer, that's why he's still on the team. Or Sam Darnold, who they signed to a 1-year contract, they might think about moving those players if the return on investment makes sense. Now, the Niners' 2023 quarterback cap hits in that quarterback room. Brock Purdy, this is why he's such a great value player, because he's barely making anything. And if he gets better than he was last year, look at the value that you get. Less than $900,000 on that cap hit this upcoming season. Trey Lance, on the other hand, because he was selected number 3 overall in 2021, a $9.3 million cap hit. Sam Darnold signed that 1-year, $4.5 million deal, incentive-laden. His cap hit, $5 million. So if you can move off that money and use that money elsewhere, San Francisco might do it. More from Jeremy Fowler here. Before any of that can happen, though, the Niners must be certain Purdy is ready to go and can play at or above the level he reached last year. Until then, Lance and Darnold will compete for the backup job behind him while making the case that they could be more than a number 2 if needed. Kyle Shanahan is clearly very high on Brock Purdy, and the Niners' quarterback situation and the future at that position really does come down to, and it's predicated by the health of Purdy. He's been able to throw the ball with velocity, been able to display the same arm strength that he had last year, no limitations up to this point. And Shanahan, with what he saw on film last year, how Purdy performed as a rookie, thrown into the fire and thrust into a massive role for San Francisco, leading this team on that hot winning streak to end the season, he impressed a lot of people. And that's why Kyle Shanahan said, quote, Brock is the real deal. Your question's coming up here in just a moment, but first, can the Niners win the Super Bowl with this current quarterback situation? Right tackle, quarterback, 2 massively important positions, 2 big question marks for the Niners. W for yes, they can win it. L for lose, let us know. This NFL Jam shirt is incredibly awesome, and they've been going off the shelves. A lot of people have been using our link down below because this shirt of Steve Young, Jerry Rice with the NBA Jam kind of mock-up is awesome. And it's on sale right now at chatsports.com/49ersjam. You have to use that link for that deal to apply. And if you don't like the shirt, you can still use that link, and you can find a lot of really good deals on our Fanatics site. It's chatsports.com/49ersjam. Let's start to take your questions here. Adrian Avila, what do you think about the Elijah Mitchell injury? Do you think the Niners should let him go since he is so injury prone? So I've discussed this a little bit throughout this offseason because of the emergence of Jordan Mason. Having a good camp, back in OTAs, he was flashing some pass-catching ability. If he plays well, and then San Francisco is raving about Ty Davis-Price, and Elijah Mitchell continues to get hurt, and the Niners at a position where you can find really good players, and a Kalani Laybourne, the UDFA, decides to step up, like he's been having a pretty good camp, and Mitchell isn't available, San Francisco could use a roster spot elsewhere, and they could decide to keep another player at a position that they value a little bit more than running back because they understand it's easy to pluck and find good running backs. So Elijah Mitchell's 53-man roster spot, I don't think is guaranteed right now because he continues to get hurt. I'm not saying he's not a good player. Elijah Mitchell is a really good player. And when he's been on the field, incredibly productive. He's a great scheme fit, a great find in the draft 2 years ago. But again, can't make the club from the top. 727, Steve D. Fred Warner said he was worried about Brock Purdy being good because he had been practicing against the number one defense in the league. So would that be helpful to Lance or Darnold as well? I think in training camp, you see Lance and Darnold making adjustments, and you've seen them improve a little bit. No better numbers than this, which I think is pretty telling, that 49ers quarterbacks combined in 2023 camp, going up against this Niners defense, which the first team defense is good, the second team defense is also really good. The first 3 practices combined, the quarterbacks had a completion percentage up until Friday, or after Friday, 47.6%. The next 5 practices, 72.4%. So they're able to see and adjust. They're able to go up against stiff and elite levels of competition. Lance has gotten first-team reps. Darnold has gotten first-team reps. Purdy, obviously, when he's on the field, gets all of the first-team reps, given what he did last year. It's understandable to see why the Niners have trust in him. But yeah, it certainly helps Lance and Darnold going up against the defensive mind that is Steve Wilks and this difficult system, but all of the talent on that side of the ball. 727 Steve D. Clearly knows ball. BV50, will Trey Lance be on the Niners all season? I think that he will, but it will not surprise me one iota if Trey Lance does get traded. And for some of the reasons that I talked about a little bit earlier. $9+ million cap hit in 2023. If San Francisco, from a quarterback-needy team, let's say Desmond Ridder shits the bed, he pisses down his leg, and he sucks, right? Like, the Falcons could give up a second or third round pick, especially if Arthur Smith is feeling the heat, and he knows, look, my job is in jeopardy if I don't find a quarterback. Let me find a quarterback because I think he's a good coach. He's had instability at quarterback with all of the instability there. Marcus Mariota was really bad last year. So could they trade a third-round pick for Lance? If the Niners got that, we know that they value day 2 picks, day 3 picks. They could decide to do that. Sin City, what do you think the final number for Bosa will be on his contract? Chip, can you pop up the Aaron Donald contract graphic that we have in the system here? Because this is a good indicator for what Nick Bosa might be able to make with his contract. And Sin City, I certainly appreciate that question. This is what the Aaron Donald deal was. Originally, he signed a 3-year, $95 million contract, $31.5 million, 95 guaranteed. I think that Nick Bosa's deal is going to be more years, let's say 5. I think the guaranteed money could be around 100. I think the average annual value will be between 32 and 35, and then in turn, the guaranteed money is able to go up as well. And Bosa has earned that. I know a lot of people are going to get really concerned about that, but keep in mind also that the salary cap is going to continue to increase. And if Bosa continues to develop at this level, and he continues to sack the quarterback like he's done the last 2 years and in year 1 as a rookie, it's the most important position, in my opinion, outside of quarterback and maybe offensive tackle. You invest in that position, especially with a generational player who's a potential future Hall of Famer in Nick Bosa. Boatswain Boogie, during our live show, sent us in that super chat. We appreciate you, Brody. If Brandon Ayuk breaks out this year, do we trade Debo? That is possible. The money that the Niners would have to eat this year if they traded Debo this offseason, and we talked about that a couple of times, would be a lot. Next year, though, that changes. I would love to see the Niners hold on to Debo and hold on to Ayuk, but let's just put on our general manager hat. Brandon Ayuk, and this is just an honest statement here, is a better all-around wide receiver and traditional wide receiver than Debo Samuel. Can you get a player like Debo who can line up at running back and he can pick up yards after the catch? You could find those players a little bit easier than a true prototypical outside wide receiver like Brandon Ayuk. And let's also say that Debo in 2023 has a season like he did 2 years ago when he was an All-Pro in 2021. If his value is at its highest and the Niners can get some really good value back, that too would not surprise me. As a business, you have to think about these things. And sometimes you have to get aggressive and take risks. I want to see them both on the field because I like them both and they're both special players, but you have to keep those things in mind. Evan Hinders, what's good, brother? Should the Niners bring in another wide receiver? I don't think so. Danny Gray having a pretty good camp. Chris Conley having a pretty good camp as well. And then in front of those guys, you have Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings. After that, Danny Gray, you have Chris Conley, and I don't look at Ray McCloud as like a traditional wide receiver. He's going to make this team because he's one of the best special team returners in the NFL, but he is that wide receiver. So that's another wide receiver you have to have on that team. I think San Francisco is pretty set there. Thanks to everybody who chimed in and who asked us questions here on the show. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I want to round out the show with this. It's a Faithful Freaky Friday here on the program. What is everybody doing this weekend? Let me know down in the comment section. All right, good stuff. 3 segments down here live on the San Francisco 49ers Report. I did see that Gump Wolf sent us in a $20 super chat, so we will get caught up on all of our super chats. We're able to get past $400 here on the program. We're not worthy, but we appreciate you so much. Gump Wolf, chug, 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 because I did say a little bit earlier I would chug a beer if we were able to get past $400, and we were able to do that. So my favorite beer, Yingling, I'm going to chug it. Cheers to everybody for hanging out with us on this Friday. Shout out to Chip, too, for killing it for his first producing outing on a live show. His beer boot is coming up, Trace, if you want to get this beer boot and fill it up for him.
Excited for that one.
Cheers. Black Mask, seeing Buddy Guy on Sunday. Buddy Guy. Let me see if I know Buddy Guy. I'm not going to lie. Oh, American guitarist. 87 years old. He's still shredding. That's awesome, man. Blues guitarist. So that's funny that you say that, BM, because I have been on this massive blues kick the last month. And going into this summer, I've always had a wide and vast musical library. I'll go from Ray Charles and Johnny Cash to Elvis to Red Hot Chili Peppers to Smashing Pumpkins to AC/DC to Tupac, Biggie, modern day rap, Eminem, and then I'll listen to country music. Going into the summer, I hadn't listened to much of Jimi Hendrix and the Grateful Dead. I saw Dead and Company live with John Mayer. It was incredible, an awesome show. And I've also gotten into Jimi Hendrix of late. Trace, come on here because I got to use the bathroom. I'm so happy. So I love blues. So BM, I hope you enjoy it. I got to use the bathroom. I'm going to put y'all to the test here. How many super chats can we get by the time that I use the bathroom and come back? And if we get up to 450, we're at 414 right now, I'll do another beer bat if we get to 450 in super chats. Here's Trizzy.
What's up, Niner gang? What's up, faithful family? Everyone show some love to Chip in the comment section because, oh boy, he was killing it, man. He was crushing that shit. He was just absolutely going to town, having a good time. But, yeah, so I heard Chase talking about the blues and all the music that we've been going to watch and stuff. Dude, him and I have been going out pretty much every weekend and seeing live music. It's been a lot of fun. So it's a summer of music, Chip. It's a summer of music. Get your ass on screen. Get your ass on screen, son. All right, everyone show some love to Chip in the comment section, and I'm going to make a deal for you. I'm a man of deals, I'm a man of principle, and I'm a man that can be easily swayed. So here's the situation. Every $5 super chat, there's a bottle of Fireball right back there. So I'm going to do a shot of Fireball every $5 that come in.
And there we go.
Asking you shall receive. Asking you shall receive. Black Mask, what's good? Chip needs to take the boot. Chip, we'll have Chip come and do the boot here in just a minute. We'll have Chip do the boot here in just a second once Chase Sr.'s back. But until Chase is gone or until Chase is back, every super chat that comes in, $5 or more, I'm taking a shot. Elvin, what's up, brother? What's up, Elvin? Hey, so go to on GFX3, go to the social, YT social at the very bottom, Elvin super chat. I built it from scratch.
There it is.
You got it?
There it is.
We want to make sure we show some love to Elvin. Elvin, you said your super chat got missed, so you know what I did? I built that mug. I got that super chat, and I put it back together. So here's that $20 super chat from Elvin. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being a first-time super chatter. You are a legend. We wanted to make sure we showed you some love. I got a I got a Yingling right here that's actually Chase's, but I'm going to take a sip of it.
So we got that 10 just now
Yeah.
from Black Mask.
And we also got Day. Day, day, day.
You count that 10
day,
as
day,
too?
hey. Oh, yeah, $10 is too.
And then-
It's for every $5.
Of course.
And we got my boy, Day Walker. Hey, day, day, day. Hey, day, day, day. Hey. So what's up, man? I saw a Buddy Guy at a bar in Davis. No way. You saw Buddy Guy? That's lit. That's incredible. That's incredible. I'm jealous. So y'all like producer Chip? I think he's a pretty dang good, Robin to Chase's Batman. I think Pippen to Jordan, it's a good little connection they got here. I love it. I love it.
You got me or Trace? Come on. Who you got?
Yeah, pick a producer.
Oh, pick a producer right here.
Just know who was here first.
T or C? Triz or Chip? You want to make that weigh in, Trace? Oh, we got Elvin's on there too, right?
Yep,
Awesome.
Got Elvin on there.
Elvin. And then we had 2 more that came in, right?
We got Black Mask and
Black
Daywalker.
Mask and Daywalker. Daywalker! Daywalker is back. So let's see. I think I have BM was on there, and then I have to put Gumps on there. All right, cool. Yeah, we're in a good spot. Big Hurt!
Oh!
Big Hurt again! Big Hurt was with us on Wednesday. Let's go. I like this question here. I like this question from Big Hurt. If Kinlaw stays out of the medical tent and we get production out of Furl and Jackson, we'll have the best defense this year, and there won't be a close second. Big Hurt, it's tough to find a better defensive line if Furl shows up, if Kinlaw produces, if Drake Jackson steps up in year 2. And let me throw this name out there. The Niners have loved what they've seen from Taco Charlton. Steve Wilkes said he got off the plane, and since getting off the plane, all he's done is made plays. He was a massive bust for the Cowboys, and part of me, I want him to work out just because he was a Cowboys bust. We had Arden Key, who worked out after being a Raiders bust. So, those types of stories and moments are awesome. Big Hurt, you're going on the lunch pail, my brother. Put a BH on that piece. Big Hurt.
We got another $5 super chat here from Black Mask chipping in again.
Black Mask again with the 5. Isn't Trizzy an Aints fan? We're the paper bags, bro. He is a Saints fan, but it's all good because he's an adopted Niners fan who helps us out on the show and is a great producer.
And also, I threw away my Aints bag whenever we won a Super Bowl back in 2011. So that's where it is. It's in the trash. But Black Mask, I always love a good little chirp sesh. It's always fun.
Daywalker, this one's for Chip.
Hey, Jill.
Hey, Chip.
Hey, Jill.
Chip's got to do his beer boot coming up. We're up to 459. I said, look, I got to do another beer bat if we get to 450, and we did. All right, how about this one? Pick a producer. We have Chip on his first ever live show, and then Trace is the OG. So who's the better producer, or who do you like more? T for Trace, C for Chip? Let us know.
Love that.
That's a good graphic right there. I like it.
Black Mask says
both.
Gump Wolf! Again! Wait, why are all the 5s coming in?
I said every $5 I'm taking a shot.
Oh, okay. I was like, why are all these 5s coming in? Everybody's saying for Trizzy and Chip.
That's at least 4. So Daywalker said both. We got Lore with a T. That's fine. I mean, he's been here way longer
That's
than the
pretty
established
good.
guy here.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at it, but
Daywalker said both, though, so like you said, that's good. Big Hurt said UFC match. Winner gets my vote. That would be fun.
Oh,
You know, what's funny is that Mitchell Renz on the Raiders Report got a portable blow-up swimming pool and like pounds and pounds of Jell-O, and they were supposed to wrestle at one point, to have a jelly wrestling contest. And they never did it, unfortunately. I'm not sure why it never happened, but Trace. He's doing the tequila. All right, so we got to 450 and past 450. We're up to 464 right now. It's a Faithful Friday live on the Niners Report, and I'm going to do another beer bat here for the fam. Just another excellent pour. You know, you just got to tilt it. Just a little tilt. Just a little tilt.
got to teach the guys here how to do it.
Yeah.
How to get it done.
Oh, Daywalker with 5. This one's for you, Chase. Did we catch up on all those? Rick Nyers! He's in the building! Rick! 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 Rick!
Oh my God, what a legend.
If we get to 500, what are you doing for Rick? A Rick beer bong? A Rick freedom funnel?
I'm gonna rip a Rick.
If we get to 500 in the next 2 minutes, Trace is going to rip a Rick funnel. How about that? 2 minutes. We're 30 away. If we get to 500, Trace is going to rip a Rick funnel.
At 469 right now. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Great
469. Great success. Very nice. Cheers.
Chug,
Chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug, chug.
chug, chug, chug.
Woo! Black Mask with another 10. We're 20 away. 30 seconds in, we're 20 away. And Chip still has to do his boot. What?
Hey, Black
Oh.
Mask, I appreciate that. That's a good one.
1993, I was in New Orleans for the Final Four. My favorite event was the mud wrestling. So I get Trizzy's appreciation for the Aints. That is pretty good.
Pretty good. I like it. I love it, Black Mask. Always.
Rick!
Rick!
He does it himself. He does it for the Ripper Ricker. Trace is going to go get that freedom funnel.
And I got my boot.
And Chipper has his boot. You want to go full screen here? Y'all can just rip it for Rick. Rip it for Rick. BV50, the loaded bat. I love the beer bat. I love the beer bat. It's a great move. Shout out to boss man Brett. The KS is Kansas State. He played baseball there. So he brought these for us, and they're pretty awesome. I am way too old to do a dizzy bat at this point in my life.
Oh.
I just feel as though you don't recover from that dizziness at this age. You know, I'm 31. I'm so old now. So it wouldn't be good.
A dizzy bat race would be crazy.
So Rick gets us to 500. We're actually 2 cents away from 500, but all good. Rick Nyers, even Coop knows Rick Nyers. He comes in, he says, did I hear Rick is here?
What's good, Rick?
Black Mask, Rick, that's a badass beard. It's an elite beard. Elite beard. I'll step out of the way.
You need 2 cents.
I know. Somebody will send it
I'll
in.
give him 2 cents.
You have 2
I might
pennies in
super
your
chat
pocket?
myself. Rick, 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 Rick. Hey! All right, a Trizzy Ripper Ricker and a Chipper Ripper Ricker. Rip it for Rick. 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 Rod Tucker, that's actually pretty good.
Hey!
He said KS isn't for Kyle Shanahan. If this was burnt orange, shout out Coop, Texas fan. It could be Kyle Shanahan because he played his football there. Did you know that Shanahan went to Duke before Texas? Chip.
Come on now, Chip.
What'd you say? Wow. How about it?
Wow.
Is that a bong from Black Mask? It's
It's a bat.
It's just the bat.
Come on now, Chip. It's pretty electric, honestly.
There you go. We made it a bong for you there, Black Mask.
Easy, buddy.
Oh, Callie Green knows. Callie Green knows. Said turn the boot. Callie Green knows what it's all about. Exactly. Yeah. Beer Fest. 727 Steve, he said, and relax the shoulders. Exactly. Whoa, pause.
Hey, you know what?
Gotta relax the shoulders and then
If-
take that beer boot down.
If we can get another $100 super chat, we're going to get my fellow rookie producer, Smitty, in here
Oh,
to do a boot.
did you hear that? So Chip just said, so him and Smitty, they started the same day. None of you have met Smitty yet. There's 20 from Sergio. But if we get another $100 super chat, Chip is going to go get the guy who we started here at Chat Sports with, and Smitty has to do a beer boot. That's what will happen for another $100 super chat. Sergio! Do you think if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, Kyle will be out the door? I don't think that will happen. I think that if the Niners continue to come up short, Kyle Shanahan might get fatigued of being with this organization, and the fan base might get tired of him, where it reaches a boiling point in which they move on from one another. I don't think that's after this year, just because San Francisco is still stacked. I could see that happening in a couple of years, though. Look, he was hired in 2017. You know, we're going into the 2023 season. He's been here for a bit, but I've compared Shanahan and his success. 3 NFC championship games in 4 years, a Super Bowl appearance within that span, to Andy Reid in Philadelphia. Offensive wizards, offensive masterminds, great scheme, great system, players coach, well-liked by the players, came up short in big games. Now, Andy Reid made it to 5 NFC championship games with the Eagles, 4 in a row. And he was there for 14 years. So Shanahan has a little bit of wiggle room, in my opinion. I like him. I think he's an elite coach in this league, and I think you have to be very, very concerned with the thought of moving on from a guy like that, because who are you going to replace him with? It is not easy to find an elite coach in this league. BV50 said, Sergio, thumbs up. So that's 20 push-ups from me once again. And here's our super chat menu again. $5, Niner mug cheers. What's funny about today's show, we've gotten like all of these. We've gotten a 5, a 10, a 20, a 50, and a 100. I owe y'all a Niner mug chug because I haven't given you a cheers, although I've done the beer bats and stuff and the chug earlier, but here you go. And now I'll drop down, give you all those 20 push-ups for Sergio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ugh. We have to have like a camera in the corner with like the widespread view, because you have the camera on you, camera on me, but people are like, you're not doing the push-ups. But I promise you, I would never lie to the faith.
I can confirm every single one of those push-ups he's done.
Black Mask with another 10. And Black Mask, if you want to put somebody's name on a sticker to go on the lunch pail, you've sent in a couple of $10 super chats. You can basically recommend somebody go on the lunch pail. So just let us know that name right now in the chat, and we'll get that name on the lunch pail for you because you sent a couple of $10 super chats in. your initials are already going on the lunch pail. But if you want to put somebody else, family member, somebody in the chat who you really like, let us know in the chat right now. I'm also going to do this. Usually, it's $10 to go on the lunch pail. For 2 minutes, we're going to go 50% off. Anybody who sends in a $5 super chat over the next 2 minutes, you're going to go on the lunch pail as well. Because I want some more names on there. For when it arrives, we're already going to have it filled up. So 2 minutes on the clock. Whoever sends in a $5 super chat within those 2 minutes, you get on the lunch pail as well. This will kind of be our last call here to a certain degree. But I'll tell you what, we're doing a great job in our Friday super chat battle. So what lunch pail, Rick Nyers? All right, so Rick, here's the story. And Rick deserves to be on there too, because it's any super chat over 10. So we'll go RM. So Rick, very similar to the helmet that we sent you. You know, we're a gritty channel. This is a gritty fan base. The 49ers, it's all about the coal mine, right? The gold mine. That's very gritty. That requires toughness. What exemplifies toughness more than a metal lunch pail that you stack up every day and you take it to work? A metal lunch pail. That is toughness exemplified right there. Toughness defined. So what I did, I ordered a metal lunch pail, and we're going to put a Niners logo on there. It's just taking a little while because it's on delay with Amazon. And a metal lunch pail is going to be our preseason super chat movement to a certain degree because I think it tells a story. The Niners are on the practice field putting in work, and training camp days are long, hard, and gritty. Lunch pails are also very gritty. So on the show, we're going to put all these gold stickers on the lunch pail for anybody who sends in a $10 super chat. As soon as that gets filled up, Rick, like your helmet, the minor helmet from last year, we're going to make it a super chat giveaway. And we're going to put beers in there, and we're going to take it to the show like we're going to work. So that's basically what we're talking about here. So that's the lunch pail right there. How about a gold pickaxe? That's also a good point. I can put it next to my helmet. Rick, possibility that you could. Yeah, a pickaxe would be dope. I like that for a future super chat giveaway.
Gold pickaxe, great idea. Great idea.
What else y'all want to see?
Philip, let's bang bang Niner gang.
Lyle! Nathan, a first time super chatter. Nathan's going on the lunch pail. BV50 is going on the lunch pail as well. So we're going to put an NB on here and a BV50. BV50 and Nathan going on the lunch pail. We'll go through these too. Lyle, Niners need to keep all three quarterbacks because you never know what could happen. Last year, prime example. And if I had my prediction, Lyle, I think that's exactly what San Francisco is going to do. They're going to keep all three quarterbacks at least. That's what I would do. I think that's the smartest play. If Purdy gets injured again or if he struggles, you have a quarterback with so much potential and ability in Trey Lance to step in there. And Sam Darnold is a really good scheme fit with Kyle Shanahan. He's been so inconsistent throughout his career and pretty much bad. But has that been because he's had multiple coaches, multiple offensive coordinators, and he played for the Jets and Panthers, two teams that just were not good. He's made some really nice plays and throws throughout training camp. So really, I think San Francisco, in a way, they are scarred with what happened last year. They're scarred so that they stacked up on quarterbacks so that they wouldn't run into a scenario last year in which Josh Johnson is getting snaps in the NFC Championship game and then Christian McCaffrey's having to throw the football. So they overcompensated, which we all do in life outside of football. If we're worried about something, scared about something, sometimes we overcompensate to make up for that. I think that's what San Francisco did here. Nathan, first time. Super Chatter. Do you think Braden Willis will be what Kyle envisioned for Jordan Reed with Kittle? Oh, interesting point here. You're going all the way back to the, Washington days, right, with Jordan Reed? Oh, well, he started his career there, and Shanahan was there, but you're talking about Reed when he was backup for Kittle. And Reed was playing really, really well before, unfortunately for him, he got injured once again. Yeah, I've been saying this since I started covering the Niners in 2021. I'd like to see more 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets. And, Shanahan doesn't really do it much. And instead, he goes 1 tight end, and Kittle is that tight end who has to block a lot. Braden Willis has been having a good camp. What's interesting about him is that he played H-back fullback at Oklahoma, and he led the country last year among all tight ends in yards picked up after contact, so he can break a lot of tackles. And him and Cam Latu, they've been having a pretty solid camp. I think that Willis and Latu, they might be able to get the 2 roster spots that were occupied by Charlie Warner and Ross Dwelly. 2 rookies instead of the veterans. They're better players, I believe. BV50 going on the lunch pail. You have a gold star and a gold sticker as well. Look at this list that's getting piled up here. We'll get it on the lunch pail as soon as we get that. Joshua Updike, first time Super Chatter. Jordan Updike, you're a real one. Bang Bang Niner Gang. Wait, is this a couple? Joshua and Jordan? Are they brothers? Joshua and Jordan? Are they family members? Joshua and Jordan? Are they best friends? Joshua and Jordan.
We need to know.
We need to know what the deal is. Joshua Updike and Jordan Updike. We're getting you on the show. So let's go.
His son.
My son. I love it.
That's sick.
Awesome.
Joshua Jordan. Joshua Jordan. Joshua Jordan. Joshua Jordan. So we'll go. I'm going to do this. Juju. Juju on the sticker. So we'll go Juju on the sticker. There we go.
Gump Wolf says, thanks for another good show, Chase, Trizzy, and Chip. We love you, Gump Wolf.
Juju getting another gold sticker. His son. Awesome, man. That's great. All right. Here's what we'll do. We are 40 away from $600 in Super Chats. If we get to 600, chugging the rest of my beer, and then we sign off. We call it a Friday. 600 in Super Chats. Drink the rest of the beer, and we're signing off, and we're calling it a successful, faithful, freaky Friday.
And you know what? If we get to 600, I'll do a beer bong.
Beer bong. Beer bong for 600. So Chip beer bong, I finish my beer, and then we sign off and we call it a day here on the Niners Report. Nathan Bolden, love the show, Chase. Keep up the great work. Can we pop that up? You use hashtag Niners?
Of course.
If there's any chance that we can do that, that would be great. And yeah, if we get to 600, beer bong, finish my beer, and then we sign off. And I am going to give us 2 minutes to accomplish that goal. 2 minute Super Chat shot clock. 2 minutes. Dos. Love the show, Chase. Keep up the great work. Look, it wouldn't be possible without everybody out there. Shout out to Kira for watching as well. Appreciate girlfriend Kira for tuning in. Trey said hello as well. It's always good to get everybody in here and get a watchful eye on what we're doing, of course. Edward Willis. Hey, my brothers. I've been working a lot, so I've been away for a minute. This is Toby Willis, the real one. Edward is my middle name. So the badass Willis, real one, is back. Toby Willis. It's funny that you say that.
Whoa, Toby Willis is back?
Because Toby, we have the helmet here. This is the Toby Willis helmet right here. The Toby Willis motorcycle helmet, which we've always said kind of looks like a Nick Bosa helmet to a certain degree.
It's a beautiful helmet.
55 seconds into our 2 minute shot clock, by the way. We get to 600. Finishing a beer and Chipper. We'll do another beer bong.
Just $40. That's all we need.
$40. That's all we need. We're 40 away. Sam. Francisco. Look at this thing. Absolutely awesome from our guy, Toby Willis. He sent this to us last year. There's 10 from Black Mask. There's 10. We're 30 away. We're 30 away. 30 away from 600. We have a minute 30 on the clock. Minute 30 on the clock.
This is awesome.
This is great. Taking my son to the Seahawks game on December 10th, his first NFL game. How old is your son, Black Mask? To go to the Seahawks game is awesome because that rivalry is one of the best in the NFL. Mr. Black Ice, be cool, my Niner fam. I'm back to work. See you, Brody.
What a great Friday here, huh?
Great Friday,
What
man.
a great Friday.
Great Friday. Great Friday. 17-year-old son going to a game for the first time. That's incredible. That's incredible.
Hope it's a good one. Hope it's a good one and the Niners win.
Yeah, seriously. Swept Seattle last year with that trifecta. And they can win once again and sweep them once again. That would be something. All right. We about to sign off? I think we're about to sign off. Our 2-minute Super Chat shot clock did expire. 30 away from 600. There's 20 from 727, Steve D. That resets the Super Chat shot clock. We're 10 away, and that's 20 more push-ups. What do we do about the offensive line? Bang, bang, Niner gang. Okay, so I'm doing push-ups like an offensive lineman would do. Same motion, right? Colton McKivitz has looked the part so far in Niners training camp. He's looked good, and he's opened up a couple of big running plays for San Francisco's offense. He's held up in one-on-ones. The true test, Steve, is going to happen this upcoming week. It's going to happen this upcoming week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Joint practices and then the preseason. We'll see if McKivitz actually plays in the preseason, but his pressure rate that he gave up last year and the year combined before that would have ranked, I think, 62 out of 67 right tackles in the NFL, which isn't good. But up to this point, he's looked pretty damn good. Now, last year, we had massive questions about Jake Brendel at center. And I'm like, how are you going with a journeyman at center who's never really been a starter in this league? He passed with flying colors. Colton McKivitz, can he do the same? Can he be better in the pass game than Mike McGlinchey? Because Mike McGlinchey, more of a running offensive tackle as compared to a pass blocking offensive tackle. So we'll see. Steve, big year for Spencer Burford. Big year for Colton McKivitz. I'm confident in Jake Brendel considering what we saw last year. Aaron Banks in concussion protocol right now, but he played at a borderline Pro Bowl level last year, and you know that Trent Williams is one of the best left tackles still in the game, even though he's 35 years old, probably the best. So, 20 from Lyle! We're over 600! That's another beer bong. That's another beer down the hatch. Lyle Boyard, San Francisco. So, Chip, I have to drop down and do 40 push-ups here. So, let's do this. Chip has done a great job on his first ever live show here at Chat Sports. And the first live show that he does is a channel with 82,000 subs, and we do more than $600 in Super Chats. So, everybody type Chip in the chat. I am going to put that in the chat right now. And anybody who gets that into the chat, Chip is going to give you a shout out for shouting him out. Here we go. 40 push-ups coming up.
Shout out Mayday 49, Dave Zobel, Golden Big Hurt. Shout out everybody for sticking around with us for the end here. We got more in the chat. Or you can stick around to the beginning. Steve, first time super Saturday today. We got Edward Willis. Toby Willis. Philip, we got Lord Buddy there. Sorry about that one, Thomas. We got Dogum, Big Hurt, Lyle, Lore, Steve, Toby Willis, Philip, Lord Buddy Bear, Thomas Pritchard. We got Nathan in the chat. We got Chase doing push-ups. He's killing them down there.
Fuck. That's
DK,
hard.
I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate everybody here.
Wow. That's hard. All right. We got past 600. Chip's going to do a beer bong. I told you I'd finish the rest of my beer. Football season is about to be here. I mean, next weekend, we have a Niners preseason game to talk about, to do a watch party for, against the Raiders, and it's going to be incredible. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for supporting the show today. Chipper beer bong coming up. I'll finish this in the meantime. Whew. I'm out of breath. Black Mass said, Chip, you sitting on an exercise ball? You bouncing. DK, he calls in Tom because of push-ups? What am I missing there, bro? Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm missing there. Yeah. Buddy Bear
What's
is in the
up, Buddy
house.
Bear? It's your boy Trizzy Trace and Chase Sr. We call ourselves the Pocket Aces. Everyone show some love to Chip in the comments section. Keep showing him some love. He killed it today.
If someone can beat the clock real quick and send in a quick 100, we're getting Smitty in here.
That's true.
$100.
If somebody sends in a 100, we're getting the other new guy to come in to do a beer boot.
And that
That's
guy
3
drinks
beers in
super
one
slow.
boot.
It's hilarious.
He's very slow. To do the beer boot. Not,
The boot.
not,
The boot. The boot.
not actually.
He's
slow.
not.
There he is. Come on
Get
here.
that, get up there. Get up there.
$100
Smith.
super chat. You're doing a beer boot, right? All right, come on. Tell the people. Here we go.
$100 super chat. I'll do a boot and I'll whoop anybody's ass on this stream.
There we go. See, I don't think Kira's watching the show. Obviously hasn't met you two. So, Kira, Smitty,
Good one, Buddy Bear.
Chip. There you go.
Hi, Kira. It's your son.
Trace on the mic. All right, go ahead, brother. Chip. Chip.
Chill. 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 Chill.
Easy money. Oh.
You so went to Clemson.
Uh-oh.
You so went to Clemson.
He went to Clemson.
You went to
It's okay.
Clemson as fuck.
He went to Clemson.
You were a Clemson Tiger as shit, dude. Finish that beer bong. Yeah, if you typed C for pick your producer earlier, you're wrong. Chip. 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 Chip.
What a legend.
Good boy? Straight up.
Throw this away too. What a day. A faithful Friday. We might have to rebrand the show moving forward. See, the thing is, during the NFL season, I'm off every Friday because we work Sundays. But maybe in the offseason, there's something to be said for a faithful Friday that sometimes becomes a faithful Freaky Friday. Black Mask said, Frank the Tank, finish it. He did. He did. He deserves credit. He deserves credit for that. And he deserves credit. This is not easy to do what he did today. I messaged him early this morning. I said, we're going live. You ready? He said, hell yeah, I'm ready. And he passed with flying colors. Thanks to Trace for helping him out as well, showing him the ropes. Thanks to everybody who watched today. It was an absolute blast. I thought we gave you some really, really good content. And then, of course, we chopped it up and had a good 49ers Report happy hour. We'll be live next week. I'm thinking a couple of times. And then we'll be live next weekend, Sunday. Niners, Raiders. Get ready for it. Watch parties are back. And it's not often that you can have good quarterbacks to watch throughout the entire preseason game, because usually second half it's kind of dicey. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold in the preseason, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right, we out. San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time here on the show. Thanks for all of your support and your super chats.